Good evening and welcome to today's daily market update from Time Price Analysis. This is being recorded 5 minutes before the close of the US markets on Tuesday, the 19th of March. Okay, interesting today in that we pushed up very, very strongly in the markets, and then we're not at the target, but we dropped intraday relatively sharply. Now, we haven't taken out initial support yet, and we would need to do so to indicate that the top of this B wave may be in. Not calling it yet. We need a little bit more price action to confirm, but it is possible that we may have seen a significant local top. Ultimately, we need to take out the bottom of this 4 here to prove it. But let's come down the time frames for now, and let's go into the hourly time frame. As per this morning's update, I looked at this here, and rather than counting that as one extended wave, I think what we've got is 5 to here for the A wave, a tiny B, then a 1, 2. Now, what I was looking for was a 3, 4, 5. That's still just about possible here in the ES. We haven't crossed into the territory of this wave 1, but we've come about as low as you can in that wave 4. Interestingly, in the ES this afternoon, it came right down to the lower end of our target box for a day trade that we took, and has bounced. So the ES is sporting an ending diagonal for this last leg up, and it's holding it. So let's see what we get tomorrow, if we get some follow through to the downside, or if we're going to push up and hit that target 2865 to 2870 in the S&P 500. And then just coming down to the 15-minute chart here. So this is what we were tracking today on the cash market. So off the B wave, and 1, 2, then another 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was looking for this 3 to come up here to the 1618, but it hit the fib here, the 138.2. And I'll show you the ES charts in a moment. But that in the ES was an exact hit on a fib level we were looking for intraday for the 3 in a diagonal. There's the 4, and you can see it's come right down to this 618 bottom up fib and not crossed the 1. That's as low as we can allow it. So either that low holds into tomorrow at 28.24 and we get another push up to complete this, or we're going to continue on down. We would have to take this out here at 2803.46 in the cash market. See that? And it would start to suggest that we may have a more significant top in. The next thing we would need to do is run the retrace fibs against all of this, and those would form a support zone. In case we've got a very, very high A wave, we're going to get a deep B and then still come up one more time. So, bear in mind that primarily our count is this is an intermediate degree wave B within a primary degree wave 4. The two most awkward Elliott wave fractals are wave 4s and B waves. So this has elements of both. It is likely to be a right royal pain in the backside before it's over. Okay, let's come over and look at the NDX. Now the NDX is right in the target zone here. 74.71 would be the next level to watch if it wants to just continue up a little further and then down. So again, we had a strong up day early on today, followed by a fairly significant or reasonable intraday reversal. But we would need to get back below 72.89 in the first instance, and then we've got to take out 72.43 after that in the NDX. And this again, just this last leg, I think we've got a 1, 2, A, B, C for the 3. We hit the 1.0 extension in a potential diagonal today. 4's come as deep as it can come really, and we started to bounce. So watch this level up here, the 74.40 region. The initial support, 72.94. Take that out, and that then suggests that there's no further upside in this diagonal, and then we've got to take the level of this wave 4 out on the 15-minute charts down at 72.40. So those are the levels to watch tomorrow. I will run through them again in the early morning updates tomorrow morning, but ideally we still get that last push up in the indices, then roll over. Now, Dow Jones Industrial, which we're suggesting here that the top's in, and nothing has changed today to jeopardize that view. I have a potential 5-wave move down here. This move up today came right up and hit an 887 retrace of that and has come off intraday quite sharply. So I'm going to be watching the Dow Jones quite closely over the coming sessions to see what we get. So this was the pattern. There's the 5 down off the top. Then this A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect completion of a diagonal, starting to come off sharply. 26,121 was the level that we gave out in the live trading room today. I think someone, Yogan was asked. We've got to get back below 25,208 in the Dow to confirm. However, at this point, a move back below 25,568 would go a long way to suggesting that we're going to be in the next leg lower in the Dow Jones Industrial. Russell. Again, I think what we've got in the Russell, it was much weaker on the way up. It barely scraped a new local high in this subwave. I'm just looking for a B wave pullback and then a push up to our target still at 1326 in the Russell. And just taking that down to the hourly time frame, I think what we've got here, just bring these over. Off the low the other week, I've got 5 up to here for an A, B, and we're just coming down in the C of B here. What's 1540, 1532, 1522? We would have to take out 1510 in the Russell now to suggest that the top is already in. So looking for a slightly stronger move up in the Russell, ironically, before it turns, ideally. But let's see, the next session or two I think is going to be important. We've got the FOMC minutes being released late on tomorrow afternoon, and then 2 more trading days of the week still left to go after that. Okay, UK FTSE. Still pushing up nicely, just looking a little higher to finish this B wave off. This is the weekly chart, then a much bigger move to the downside. 62.82, the ideal target below us, but I still think we've got higher to go yet. Now, if you look at the daily chart on the site, and again, for those of you that are new to the service, all of the site charts are updated just before I record the videos each night. So that's each and every day, all of them, all time frames. So we've hit the 618 retrace of this leg down here, but this doesn't quite count complete on the smaller time frames yet in the FTSE. If I come over here to the hourly chart, and today's high, we just about got to a 1618. So off the B wave, 5 up for 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, minuscule 4 this morning, and then the 5. I'm looking for the FTSE to hold over 72.49 and just push up that one last time into the target zone here to finish this off before we see the bigger move to the downside. If we take out 71.84 in the FTSE, then that would suggest that the top is already in. But what I'm looking for is a divergent high. So I'm looking for divergence with the technicals here. You can see also off the low, we've got this A wave. Look at the MACD here, okay? And look at it here, it's already rolling over. If this was in the heart of a 3rd wave higher, then we should be up here. Then it should be considerably stronger technicals than we've got at the top of an A wave. So suggestion with this is it's the signature of an ABC, and we're looking for a 4-5 to finish off the C wave. German DAX, again, we've come up and hit the 50% retrace fib here. I've got this A, B, C. I'm still looking for a squiggle higher in the German DAX as well. Gave us an absolutely superb day trade this morning. For those of you that were in the live room early, if you followed the plan that I suggested, which was to buy the breakout of the upper blue line, providing we got a pullback from the levels at we were at 8 o'clock this morning UK time. We got that pullback. We blew through the blue line and went on to make a further 120 odd points in the day trade before it topped out. Okay, let's come down the time frames here in the DAX and show you what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for a push up to this 1.0 extension where the A wave and the C wave are equal in length. So it doesn't have to, funny enough. If I come down to the hourly chart, We've come up to just about this 2.0 extension in this it's a straightforward impulse up to the 3 here. So 1, 2, 3 into the 1618, 4 back that held the 1.0. That gave you a long trade the other week if you wanted it. ABC for a 1, 2, ABC for a 3. I think we're going to get a deep 4 and then a 5. And in fact, the futures are already pulling back considerably from the top that we've seen intraday during real-time hours, as you'd expect with the S&P 500 being down. So I'm going to be watching for that wave 4 tomorrow morning for day trading purposes, and then the 5 after that. We would need to take out 11,541 in the German DAX to suggest something else is going on. Okay, EEM pushed up nicely today, but it's double topped and then pulled back. I want to see another push higher into this box and then a pullback in the EEM. The Bovespa, the Brazilian market, pushing ahead nicely now. I want to see some distance between it and this 1764 orange fibs here on the chart at 99,892, and a push up next to 104,787 in the Bovespa. Indian Nifty again pushing up nicely now. It's just trying to clear this 887 retrace fib of here, and I'm looking for it to come up into this target zone, after which there's a lovely swing short play. The Indian Nifty not yet started its primary degree 4, so I think we're going to come up into this target zone, and then there's a nice big short trade on the offing after that. Okay, let's come over and look at the commodities here. So daily chart of CL. I mean, this isn't pretty stuff from CL intraday, but it's hitting fibs, it's not breaking anything. I'm just looking for it to continue to extend up here. The only slight concern I have is this: we're right at this 618 retrace here of this move down. Okay, so that watch this level, this 60.5, in case we've got this pattern off somewhere, and the way it would be off is that would be the A wave, and we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an ending diagonal for the C, and down we come. So just caution, we've got plenty of trade profits in trade, in the swing trade long. It was only a small trade. Okay, there are bigger trades ahead in CL. In meantime, hourly chart, and you'll see what I mean by this messy price action. Let's tidy this up. Okay, what I'm looking for, if we're going to go up and reach the targets, is the rest of this wave count to fill out. Well, we came up to this 1.0 extension today, which is also the 764 A to C area, and we just stopped and came down. Not what I was expecting. While we're above this level, which we've stick saved again, we can still carry on with this count in CL. So looking for this to zigzag higher, ideally much lower, and you want to go flat and reconsider in CL from there. Okay, NG still pushing up, nothing broke, just waiting for it to come up to the 3061 level next in NG. And if I just take you down to the hourly chart, tidy that up. This is what I'm looking for through into the completion of this X wave here. I think we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 while we're above 28.35. I don't want to see it back below there, and I'm looking for it to start to accelerate to the upside tomorrow morning now in NG. If it doesn't do so, stand aside, reconsider, let's look at the short opportunities, but that's what I'm looking for. Okay, precious metals and gold miners. So GC still looking lower on the larger time frames in GC, ideally down to 1109. We've got to watch the resistance, the support zone here on the way down. I think we've got a 1, 2, 3. This is a 4, just looking for a 5th, then a pullback, then down after that, still in GC. Today on the daily chart, it came up very, very high in this too, but nothing invalidated, started to come off again. We need to get back below this 1292 on our way down here to 1268 next in GC. If we take that out, then I would suggest that we've got the A wave in, and we're getting an A, B, C up to the 1335, and then we go down in the next leg in GC after that. Silver still looking lower. This is the weekly chart. Let's go down to the daily here. Yeah, so there's the target zone below us in silver that I'm looking for, and on the 4-hour chart, I'm just looking for a fifth down here to around the 1445 to finish off the initial move off the recent high. And again, in silver, if the fifth wave, I've got a 1, A, B, C for the 2, right into the 786 retrace. So silver, relatively speaking, weaker than gold, needs to take out 1513 and continue on to the downside, and then we should get a bigger pullback from lower levels in silver as well. GDX, again, still looking lower, 1519 to 1554 ideally in the GDX. There it is on the daily chart. Nothing's changed today since yesterday's update. We're just meandering around in today. So we're gapping up, coming down, gapping up, coming down. Just looking for it to stair step down to 2074 or lower as just the next step in the GDX. Then probably a pullback before we get a bigger leg to the downside after that. Okay, currencies, euro, still looking lower. I think we've got a smidgen higher to go to finish this 2 off before we start the bigger leg down in the euro. Just taking that down to the hourly chart for you. See, here's the target zone for the 2. Ideally, we push up here and then drop. So keep an eye on that. Watch the forum posts in the morning with the day trading charts and levels. Let's look to get a decent swing trade to the short side in the euro sometime soon. Cable, again, a little bit higher to go to finish this 2 off. Then the big the meat of the move down in the wave 3 after that in cable. So again, just watch the hourly chart and the day trading charts. I still think we've got the rest of this 3 and then a 4-5 to go in a diagonal up into the target region for the 2. US dollar, Japanese yen, starting to drive me slowly mad, just watching it. Wanting that push up before we get the bigger move down. So nothing's changed there. Still watching for 112.32 to short it. And the Australian dollar still short from up here, stops at 72.06, and let's leave it and watch it come down into the target zone or stop us out. We've got some off, we're safe on the rest, so nothing to worry about. Bitcoin, again, nothing doing here in Bitcoin. I'm looking, this is the daily chart, I'm looking for this, then this, then this, then this. So it's going to frustrate for a while, I think, then down. So positioning still long, non-leveraged. If you've got CFDs, then you should have taken them back over here, and the stop on those would be at 3,700 at this point in time in Bitcoin. Just whiz it down to the 4-hour chart, show you. Ideally, this is, we come down here, take this red line out, and we're going to come up here, then the B, then the C, so on and so forth in Bitcoin. Ethereum, similar thing. And you can see this is the daily charts. Look at this price action. You know, there's nothing you can trade sensibly in there, but I'm looking for a drop here, then up, then down to finish off the pattern before the much, much bigger move to the upside in Ethereum after that. And again, just looking at it on the 4-hour chart, this is the drop I'm looking for, 112.71 to 107.25, while we're below 166.52 in Ethereum. Ripple, I mean, there's your invalidation of higher. So we can just come straight down in Ripple off this last high. I prefer we come up here and then down in Ripple before we get the much, much bigger move to the upside after that. TLT, still looking for the drop into the box. Nothing to do here in TLT. It's possible this B's not in before we get the drop. So just let the pattern play out until we get the entry. US dollar, still sort of edging down. Excuse me, I didn't mean to do that. Looking for just a squiggle lower before we get this 3, 4, 5 up to the 103 area or higher after that. And just bringing that down to the 4-hour chart for you. You can see we're switching off this 764, 786 cluster below there, 96.03. Looking for it to remain over 95.08 ideally. Although the alternative is I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a larger diagonal, and this one is here, and we're going to retrace against all of this. So if we take that out, then I would divert to that count in the US dollar, and don't really trade the dollar. I'm just looking at it for the entry in the euro in reality. Okay, that's it from me for today. Back first thing in the morning as usual, then in the live room tomorrow afternoon.